on est ravis aujourd'hui d'avoir invité nos amis d'un peu partout en Europe. Donc ils ont parfois fait une très longue route depuis le sud de l'Espagne ou depuis la Pologne ou depuis la Grande-Bretagne. Donc s'il vous plaît, je vous demande d'applaudir nos speakers internationaux. Make some noise.
Thank you.
So this talk will be in English. I'll be moderating the panel, so we're going to ask a few questions for our guests about SEO and how they do it in their own country. And I hope you'll benefit from their experiences because, you know, SEO has a different level of maturity in Spain, in UK, in Poland, or in France. So I think we always benefit to learn from each other. So thank you guys for being with us today. Please, can you tell us a few words about you? Starting with Omi.
Yeah, I'm first. Hi guys, my name is Omi Sido. I work for Canon Europe, and I'm the senior technical SEO.
Hello, my name is Valeria. I'm going to pronounce my surname just once. Khadziuriu. So, yes, it's fine. You can keep at Valeria. I live in London as well, and I work as a freelance SEO consultant, and mainly with languages and international domains. And very happy to be here.
Wojciech?
Oh, yes, no, it's right. Hello, guys and girls. My name is Wojciech. I work as a SEO specialist in Camp'us.pl. It's pronounced in Poland Camp'us. It's the second biggest comparison price in Poland. Previously, I worked in some international companies, so I think that's all.
Hello. Thank you, Francois. Thank you, Oncroll, for. It's a really pleasure for me being here. I'm Fernando Muñoz. I'm from Spain, and I'm the SEO manager of Grupo Raíz Digital. We are small. We are only 50 people in the company, but we are proud to work with big companies in Spain. Like I think you will know it if I call you that we are working for Essilor. It's a big company, and you know that you're in France, so you know well them. So it's a real pleasure for me being here. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you guys. They told me that we need to stand up when we talk because the talk is recorded. So when we will talk, we'll get staying up. Okay. I will skip this and let's go for the first question. You know, we need to learn from each other, and you know, machine learning and rank brain have been a real subject of concern around the SEO community, and in France we are talking a lot about these kind of things. And can you tell us how big this subject about machine learning, AI? What's your point of view, and what's your approach within your own markets? What's the maturity of SEOs around these kind of subjects?
Okay, I'm gonna start because I always talk about rank brain online. Shall I say, if you don't follow me on YouTube, please do. So, because I didn't see my YouTube handle. Anyway. So one thing I see across Europe is that everybody's talking about rank brain, but they are not approaching it from the right direction. You know, when it comes to rank brain, one thing everybody forgets is that it's a machine learning algorithm. You know, 3 years ago, Google said rank brain is the third most important factor, you know, and everybody just looked at rank brain as an algorithm, whether RankBrain is actually in charge of all algorithms as we know them. So to answer the question how significant RankBrain is, basically RankBrain is literally the future of SEO. And whether you are able to see it or you can't see it is another thing, because the way the RankBrain works is basically, it's not an algorithm that it works by itself. It needs all the other algorithms to decide whether something is good or bad, and then RankBrain comes into, into action and display this thing in the SERPs. Many people asking me, like you, basically, what shall I do for RankBrain? And I had this actually last year, SEO on Crow, SEO Nights, right? Yeah. What was the name?
European SEO Nights.
SEO, right? And I told everybody that as SEOs, we are very scared, for example, to delete pages. And why am I looking at you? As SEOs, we are very scared to delete pages, for example. You know, because they bring traffic, we can talk to our stakeholders, we can talk to our business owners, and we can show them traffic. I can tell you now, if this traffic doesn't bring any money, this traffic is literally pointless. Not just for your business, but in the eyes of RankBrain. That's why I talked so much about click-through rate. Because literally, RankBrain, I know a lot of people are calling it artificial intelligence. You know, machine learning and artificial intelligence are two completely different things. You know, I mean, I'm probably going to need another 1 hour to explain the difference, but they're not the same thing. Literally, they're not the same thing. I'm going to give you a very good example, just came to mind. If you've got a beautiful page, right? A beautiful page, and the bot comes and see this page, and it's like, if it was artificial intelligence, it would be like, oh yeah, very nice page. Let's put this page #1 in the SERPs. But no, this is not artificial intelligence, this is machine learning algorithm. It actually looks at the numbers, at the people who are coming to this page, and if they bounce right away from this page, the bot doesn't care if the page is good, is looking good or not. So the moment you realize that RankBrain is not an artificial intelligence algorithm, but actually a machine learning algorithm, straight away it comes to mind, I really have to understand what machine learning is before I start talking about RankBrain. And this is something that's it's literally pissing me off. People constantly calling this machine learning algorithm artificial intelligence. It's wrong, people. It's simply wrong. It's a pure machine learning algorithm. It literally looks at the numbers. If the bounce rate is bad, it thinks that your page is bad, regardless of whether you think it's good or not. Also, thinking that every algorithm, even a machine learning algorithm, needs has to decide whether a domain is good or bad, right? You know. So think now. If you've got a lot of pages, if you've got 500,000 pages, and only 10% of them are good, what is the machine learning algorithm thinking? This domain is literally shit, right? You know. So I know a lot of people are saying, oh, you're always asking people to delete pages, to look at their click-through rate, to literally dive into this technical SEO. Yeah, this is the future. If you don't do it, you're gonna struggle in the future.
Thank you, Mi. Any words from you guys about RankBrain?
Can I say I agree?
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Thank you.
But most of the things, 100% of the things you're right. I agree with you. It's about as always is satisfying. Satisfy the user. The user look for something, and your website has to solve that problem. So if you're looking for how to improve in order to improve my rankings through RankBrain, as last updates are about quality. So it's something that you have to look for. Remember when we try to cheat about CTR? We were trying to improve our CTR doing cheaty things. Okay, it's not the way to do it. So if you can find what your users are looking for and you give it through the CTR, you give it through the snippet, they jump into your website and you've got that user. But if you don't give what they are looking for, they are going to leave. There is a Spanish analytic woman that it's called Gemma Muñoz, that is bounce rate is when people jump into your site, plug and go out. So that's what we have to try to improve. We have to try to improve the way that the user look for our site and the way that they give us they give them the information.
I can agree with you more, but I would add only one thing: don't focus on bounce rate, because when someone asks for a thing, go to your website, found it, so he bounce rate immediately because he found an answer. So you don't have to focus on that. I think bounce rate is overrated, and you have to think about dwell time. It's about when user go to your page, leave it, and find another page. So everything what Omi said, I can agree, but I can't agree with bounce rate.
Okay, thank you. Valeria, any words?
Are we allowed to argue?
Yeah, I think, I mean, my frustration personally has more to do with a sort of a day-to-day job when you have to explain RankBrain and how SEO works to your clients or whatever stakeholders. And I think it really relates to this concept of quality and how you can show numbers about CTRs and bounce rate and point out the evidence that something is wrong and you're not giving what the user needs. So that's obviously the first step. But then when you suggest improvements, or at least you try to put your client or copywriters or whoever is going to be able to improve the content, mainly, it's very difficult to give them this idea of quality, because people turn to you, and generally we still kind of explain this quality with the same words. So we say it has to be relevant, it has to be rich, it has to be informative, but actually these are the same words we were using even before RankBrain. Like as SEOs, you would always say, build relevant content, blah, 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 and then, your client just goes a bit blank. They're like, okay, yeah, you told me this before. So it's quite difficult to make them understand what is different now. Like, what does it mean that this quality needs to be better? And obviously, yeah, you need to kind of broaden a bit the picture and talk about context, talk about connections, and also give them a bit the idea that the authority is not only a matter of metrics or popularity, is really how you kind of put yourself, like what is your stance, and so who you want to be in terms of what you say online. And so I think it's maybe the challenge is to use also a different terminology when you explain these kind of things to different stakeholders, and try to give a bit more the sense of this idea of quality.
Thank you, Valeria. Question perhaps for you, Wojciech, and for you all guys, of course. But I'd like to get your point, Wojciech, on the type of organizations that you're running, because you're one of the biggest player in Poland. Don't know how many URLs you have, but it's a very, very large website. So can you tell us what are your constraints and how you are organized internally regarding tech, regarding content, regarding your all SEO issues that you're tackling?
At the beginning, I can tell you that phased navigation is one of the worst thing that even can happen to SEO specialist. On our website, we've got this, and it's like really pain in my ass. And so was on crawl. I think Francois saw how many URLs we got on Camp'us. It's about uncountless, I suppose. When we first crawl our website, we were based on our limitation about 10 million URLs. So OnCrawl found about 4 billions links, and it was increasing each day because our navigation system works this way, and we get to some kind stop Google and stop OnCrawl as well to don't crawl this website. So at first we try something like no follow, don't rendering JS and something like that. And just after a few months of testing, it happened that we can cut off about one third or even half of URLs on our website that give us immediately growth on visibility in Google. So I think Omi is happy because I did cutting the website. And what else I can tell?
But based on the HR organization and the people involved, what do you think are the best organization around your teams to do some good work? Because, for instance, we saw that in the US they split content marketing on one hand, they split technical SEO on the other hand. So, what's your point? What's your advice on how to organize an SEO team?
I think I won't say that the SEO and technical SEO is some other things. I always say it's SEO because when you are a SEO specialist, you have to be a technical for these days. And the best way is to keep your developers close, because how you say, keep your enemy closer. So I think it's the best way to keep them as close as possible, because when they do any changes on your website, it can really occur very, very big amount of problems.
Thank you. What's your point, Valeria, regarding the customers you have? What are the organizations of the teams that are working the best?
I think so. There's not like an ideal structure or organization. I think the question is the skills, like the mix of skills. So it's a very wide spectrum from technical skills to more content-oriented and analytical and even commercial. So the problem, I mean, especially in bigger organizations, there is a tendency for the SEO team to be wasting a lot of time on dealing with the conflict. So you have to explain numbers to senior manager, or you have to fight with developers, or you have to, deal with PR people that are very protective of their function. And so probably the best structure is when you're able to have a mix of people or skills. So if you have a person who has like all these skills together, that's amazing. But you need to get together a team based on this idea that you have different stakeholders, different types of dialogues, and obviously you need to avoid wasting time in conflict, but working with them. So it all depends what is the function of the SEO representative and who it's dealing with.
Okay, thank you. Yes, it's always a question of communication and having the right data to speak about. let's switch to the other part because time is running. I'd like to get your point, Omi, about your concern at the head of SEO for Canon, because you have a lot of websites, a lot of languages, and you know we are talking about digitalizing big brands, and Canon is a great example. So what are your main concerns regarding international SEO, and how you handle? Do you have a method?
Well, going global is the easy part, to be honest with you. You know, looking at this question, going global is literally the easy part. Anybody can build a new website in a different language, you know. The problem is localizing a website. This is always my biggest problem, you know, because people are literally not the same, you know. And it's not even like the technical part of a website, you know, page title, meta description, they're always the same. But probably I would say going global is the best case for CRO, UX, and SEO to work together, you know, and obviously convincing your CEO that this is the way, you know, because let's be honest, people are, especially talking about rank brain, you know, it all comes down to whether you're going to satisfy the user or not. I can build the same website, say, in Europe and just say, click here. People click. If you do that in Asia, they just don't click. You know, like I've noticed something very interesting actually, because now we started, you know, building our Canon website in Saudi Arabia and all this Middle East. You know, for example, in Europe, if you have a picture of a guy taking picture by himself, it's okay. The same picture in India or Saudi Arabia just doesn't work. You need to have a group of people taking picture. You know, so. To answer this question, you know, going global is the easy part, but localizing a website is really, really the difficult part of going global.
Thank you. And Valeria, regarding your experience as an international SEO manager, what are your best advice when it comes to multilingual websites?
Yeah, so localization. The resource, the language resource, so having natives dealing with local markets, so that's obviously the first step, and yeah, it's quite obvious. And so this, I think the second thing you have to think about when you know, once you've solved the resource demand is how to organize these resources together. So generally, when you work on multilingual and multi-market projects, there's an aspect of the work which is pure project management. So it's not about SEO really. It's how you're going to make sure there is a certain level of consistency. But at the same time, you're able to go deep into the market. So you know, people need, the local responsibles need to be autonomous to be able to investigate and work on their own language and work out how, you know, the industry, the whole vertical is behaving in a certain market, but then it is a large project and you need to be able to manage it. And then I think the other aspect, which is probably the most interesting as well, and it's more about, you know, the strategy, so how you kind of go out there and do SEO in a different language or a new market, is the aspect of discovering a new market. So when you don't know anything about how a SERP is behaving, either because maybe Google is not at the same standard in every language. But then there's obviously the cultural aspect, which is very important. And so when it comes to this, you really need to open your mind and keep having this very inquisitive and investigative approach, and keep on trying to understand. So figuring out, you know, why certain things rank better, or why certain keywords have more demand. And it really can be a mix of factors. And then the other thing which is connected to that is also when you do your competitor analysis. I feel some of the projects I've worked on, there is this tendency when you have perhaps global markets. So you as a competitor, you would tend to look at your direct competitors, which are global sites as well. So if you have a site that operates in many markets, you're going to watch what the guy at the same level does. But actually what is more sometimes more insightful is to really watch the smaller competitors. So don't disregard smaller sites or sites that in SEO terms don't seem strong, because actually from a linguistic point of view and even in terms of the audience, that is much more localized. And so you have sometimes more things to learn from those smaller and less threatening competitors than your bigger, the bigger players.
Thank you. A question. I'd like that you, Fernando, go first on the duplicate or near duplicates issues, and after that, I'll be glad to have your point, Wojciech. Because content is a very big thing for SEO, and as you're working with SMBs and big brands, what's your advice and what's the worst thing you've seen? What are the common problems that you're finding, and how you handle such issues?
Most of the problems that we have found is about old SEO. Remember when we were trying to put a lot of pages to rank for almost every keyword? It's a nightmare. We've got, for example, in Spain, we've got a company that is called Up to Down. It was a client a long time ago, and they've got at least, maybe not as many as yours, but kind of. They were for downloading software. It's a company that and remember when the subfolder search, you put all the searches onto the search subfolder, so you were trying to rank for almost everything. Okay, one of the thing is to try to one of the things that you have to try is to get only one page for a lot of keywords and related keywords, of course, but you don't have to focus in one keyword, but in a cluster of keywords. So maybe it's not a problem for the small clients, but for big clients, it's trying to clean all the URLs that are not related to your business, or all the URLs that are not good for the user.
Thank you.
I can't agree more with you. It's true, but you have to also focus that someone is sometimes searching for something more detailed. For example, sometimes users are looking for TV, but sometimes users are looking for TV that have, for example, 6 inches. So I don't really think that one landing page will be enough. So you sometimes have to focus on more detailed queries. Okay.
Thank you. Let's switch to another part of this panel. We talked previously about content marketing on one hand and technical SEO on the other, and net linking is obviously still a big thing in SEO. Regarding your experience from your markets, what is the priority for SEOs, the SEO community in Poland, in Spain, in the UK? Can you tell us more about that? What's a big thing people are talking about.
Yes, for 4 years, netlinking was one of the most important thing in Polish market. A lot of companies offer link building from some tools like GSA, XRammer, Scrapebox, and some other Polish tools that was based on this popularity of other tools. Of course, some reCAPTCHA automating tools and so on and all. So I think now it's not the best time for building links like that. Of course, sometimes it works. So if you go to some cheap loans or something like that, you can still see that the links are valuable. You should always focus on them, but it depends, of course, on queries. And I think technical SEO is the basic of SEO, and content marketing is just something that adds value to your website.
If I have to start in one part of that, I will choose architecture. I will choose architecture. I think architecture is what you have to build properly to improve the rankings of all your website, not the rankings, but improve the quality of all your website. So I will try to start on the. I'm used to start doing a good architecture on the website and see if and see how it ranks, and then you can try to improve your. You have to improve your content. If you need content, maybe you don't need content. Here in Spain, there is a big gifts site that has no content on the category pages, and all the content are on the product pages, and all the product pages doesn't rank, and the category pages ranks. It's not about putting content, whatever content you need is to, again, to solve what people look for. So I prefer to try to improve my architecture, that of course the part of the WPO, and then can come the other part of the SEO.
Obviously, I'm a technical SEO, so people probably think that I'm going to say technical SEO. Well, in my head, there's only one SEO, so all these things gonna actually live together in the future. The big thing now in England is literally justifying SEO investments, you know, because I know it's a bit funny, but even in 2018, people still don't know what SEO is, you know. So literally bringing, connecting SEO to revenue. This is what people are talking a lot about.
So I don't think anyone is eating anyone. So the areas are still have their own sort of importance in terms of meaning something for SEO results. There is clearly a big focus, or at least that's what I'm more involved with when it comes to content marketing or even just content. And I think it's more a case of being aware that all of them are facing new challenges, so they're evolving in the kind of style and approach you have to operate, whether it's content, technical, or link building. And but yeah, their sort of importance stays the same, and it also depends, you know, what is your site about? So is it an industry, or you know, if you are talking about a publisher, obviously content is going to be primary. If it's a retail, e-commerce, then technical might be stronger. So it's not a you can't really pick one winner, but it's clearly evolving and changing, and some of them have new focus and challenges, definitely.
Okay. Now the last part of this panel, because we're running out of time, and we all want to have some beers after that. can you please answer in less than 1 minute to those following questions? Does AMP a good idea for e-commerce website? Yes. Can you tell us a little bit why? Can you tell us a little bit why, Omi? Or
no, of course, it's well, AMP is a big subject, you know, but the results are that people who are implementing AMP actually benefiting, you know, they're having more conversions and more visits, you know. So whatever we think, AMP is, you know, it's coming strong. Okay,
are you all agree?
I don't agree on the it's coming strong. I think it is. We need to see. Evolving. Yeah, it is there. Yes, I think it's a good idea to investigate or do some any sort of research whether there is an opportunity. But it's I think it's very difficult and it's quite risky because actually maybe you know, the motivation for going on AMP is coming from performance, so you would, you know, want to improve your performance, but the main impact is actually on conversions and usability. So it's very difficult to put together all these ingredients and make an informed decision. So I would say it's early to say. I would wait for 6 months, a year, to see what's going on, and then maybe.
Okay.
If your site is crap, yes. I mean, the problems with AMP is, well, not the problem, but a lot of people put AMP because they say that their site loads fast. Okay, make your site load fast. Okay, I'm improving my CTR. Okay, take out all the shitty things of your website. And why you need AMP to improve your speed? Why you need AMP to improve your performance? Because your website doesn't load properly. So yes or no is about if your website loads fast or no. If no, yes, do it.
Please remember that AMP is not a holy grail, and I wouldn't recommend it for all websites, especially for e-commerce sites. We had implemented AMP about 1 year ago, and it doesn't improve a dime. The thing about the speed is that Google pre-rendered it by itself, so it's not really speeded up. So it's just a big lie of Google. Keep in mind of that. But to be really serious, you should test. You should always test everything that you launch on your website. We did a lot of tests before we launched it on full scale. Some kind of proposition for me is just pick some of categories and put maybe on odd number of ID component or ID products and then launch it on AMP. Look what happens and then launch it on full scale or drop it, just like Google drop, for example, Picasso.
Okay, next question. Sitemap or no sitemap at all?
If you have a good sitemap, yes, of course, but if you have a shitty sitemap, no. Because you can have more problems when you get bad sitemap, because you can waste your crawl budget. For example, when you go, your sitemap is containing full of canonicalized pages or no index pages, you will waste your budget. So sitemap is great when you do it good.
I prefer not to put a sitemap. Yeah. I prefer to see if Google can crawl all sites. Maybe if I put his site, maybe I need a sitemap. But I prefer to see if Google can crawl all the site.
Yeah.
You can disagree.
No, it's not like I disagree with them. But it just they make it very simple, you know. Either AMP or no AMP, either sitemap or no sitemap. In reality, it's not that simple, you know. Whether you're going to call it AMP or you're just going to optimize your website with an MP idea that your website is going to be quicker, you know. Let's not think only about, you know, discuss the words. Let's actually discuss the action behind the words, you know. When I said AMP, I didn't mean call it AMP and install AMP. I meant optimize your website. When I say a sitemap or no sitemap, I don't mean literally have a sitemap or don't have a sitemap. And no, it's all about the idea behind the sitemap. For many people, having a sitemap is a good idea because they're going to go to Search Console, they're going to see how many pages are indexed, how many pages are not indexed, and stuff like that. For me personally, I don't really care, to be honest with you. But I think a sitemap is a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Sitemaps are cool. And it's not black and white, as in maybe we tend to think about sitemaps as the opposite of what you use robots.txt for. But it's not really about saying yes or no. It's not about saying to Google, get that or don't get that. And with things like canonicalization, href tags, you're saying something else. It's not, you're inviting the crawler to make sure there's a thorough coverage of your content, but it's a great opportunity to reinforce other messages you're giving thanks to the sitemap. So yes, it's a quick win.
Okay, thanks. And now, just one person per question, just 15 seconds. Omi, is more content always a good idea?
No, not really. Actually, more content is never a good idea. More relevant content is always a good idea. 10 seconds.
Okay, Fernando, using a JS framework for your front end, always a good idea?
Why?
To you know, using a JavaScript on your front end.
If you need SEO, don't do it.
Thank you. Wojciech, HTTP, HTTPS, should I stay or should I go?
Oh, I have to say that you have to go to HTTPS because of Google and Google Chrome. And it really bothered me that, for example, some smaller sites had to go buy some certificates because Google wanted. And if you don't, you have to go and because Google said so.
Fernando, I think you have a few words about that, no?
HTTPS, if you can run through HTTP2, yes, because it's a good improvement in WPO. But if you don't have anything that there is not going to be a pop-up saying, I'm going to steal your content, it's not necessary for everybody.
Okay.
Can I just give you this stat?
Yeah.
Those are just numbers, of course. 1 year after they said everybody on HTTPS, how 50% of the results on page 1 are HTTPS? No opinion, just giving you the numbers.
Period. Okay, and in just one sentence, can you tell us what was the best optimized website you saw recently? Something that amazed you? Okay, go ahead, Valeria.
Oncrawl.com.
Thank you. That's good for my ego.
No, but seriously, there's a. I think so. Looking at the content marketing and what you're doing, there's a very good, I think, consistency with English and French. And I don't see that very often.
Okay, so big up to Emma, which is our marketing director.
Okay, I'm not going to talk about it tomorrow. So I can give you the best website for me. Sorry, this URL is a bit crazy. academic.oup.com. You know, 700% increase in visibility in 2017.
Wow.
If you go to the top menu and you click on the top menu, they've got an A to Z index, right? Every single keyword that you see there it's ranking either number 1 or 2. That's it. Academic.oup.com.
We'll be writing that in the slide.
Oxford University Press.
I like a Spanish small site. It's regalador.com. It's a small site, but it's doing quite good job about architecture, about content, and about selling. They are selling a lot of.
I would say it's Campus.pl, of course, but it's not true yet. And it's a really hard question, and I haven't really seen any website that could say it's 100% optimized well.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you all for being here. As we are running out of time, I think you'll be able to ask some questions around a beer or two. Thanks a lot, guys, for being here and for having traveled in Paris with the strikes. Thank you all.